Hi team, I hope you're all well. Today we are going to be filming my February TBR. I'm so freaking excited about this TBR. It is the month of Polathon and I cannot wait. Let me do a very quick change into some Polathon merch. There we go, much better. If you wanted to get your hands on some of this merch, you can do in the description box down below. Myself and Jade do have a Redbubble shop and we do have Polarthon merch on there from last year's August meltdown, and I absolutely love this t-shirt. My mum actually got one of these for her birthday last year. She asked me to get her one for her birthday last year, so I did. She came around with it on the other day, the absolute cutie. She was like, have you seen? So yeah, feel free to get yourself some Polarthon merch in the description box down below if you want to. We also do have the Polarthon bookmarks from that specific readathon as well. We haven't got any new ones this time around, but we do have these ones as well. So if you wanted to grab some more of those, we do have plenty left. And if you don't know what Polarthon is, where have you been? This is Jade's readathon that she does every single February, and then she does like a mini one or a longer one later on in the year, usually a weekend, but last year she did a month long because she was donating money to a polar bear charity, and she absolutely smashed it. And if you would like to know more about that, feel free to go and check out Jade's announcement video, which I will leave a link to up here, whichever one it is. I think it's this one. I will leave a link to it up above so you can go and check her readathon announcement out. So please do go and do that. We absolutely smashed raising money last year and I had such a good time. This year she's doing it a little bit differently and she's got a wheel for us with some prompts. I will screen record my spins and then pick my books. So what I'm going to do is do my Polarthon TBR first, and then I'm going to come back and pick my prompts out of here. I think I'm just going to do 5 this time because of Polarthon, depending on how many of the books I can get to fit the prompts. So I'm going to do it that way round just for ease and for it to make sense. So let us get to the wheel. I'm so excited about this wheel. Okay, so I am going to film this portion. I'm going to screen record on my phone. I'm very excited because I haven't spun this wheel yet because I've been waiting to do my TBR. So let's screen record so that you can see exactly what I'm doing, and let's spin for the first one. Okay, Polar Fantasy for the first one. I'm going to spin them all, then come back and do the books. Adventure for the second one. Polar Fantasy again. Oh, that was so close to being adventure again. Cold cover for the fourth one. And another Polar Fantasy. So we've got 3 Polar Fantasies, an adventure and cold cover. So let me find my books and I will let you know what my TBR is going to be. Okay, so I have my TBR for Polarthon. I'm really looking forward to this. So the first one was a Polar Fantasy, and I do have A Storm of Ice and Stars by Lisa Ludek, which is the second one in this series. The first one was A Shiver of Snow and Sky, and I read that last year at Jade's for Polarthon. So I should probably read the second one and finish the series out. In this one, there is Snow, Stars, Blood and Bravery. This is an exhilarating atmospheric story set in the same world as in A Shiver of Snow and Sky. I think we're following different characters this time though. When red lights appear in the night sky, fear and suspicion fall over Jana's village like a blanket of snow. The borders are barricaded in a desperate attempt to keep out the plague. No one will be permitted to enter that, lest they bring infection with them. But Jana refuses to turn her back on those beyond her own village and is chased away into the wilds of the island by her people. As death creeps closer like a winter frost, can Jana survive storm-ravaged plains and far-flung mountains where danger and darkness always lie in wait? Sounds great, and I really enjoyed the first one, so I'm looking forward to that one. Then we have an adventure, and for this one I'm going to go for Winter House by Ben Gutterson. This one does say that it's mystery, adventure and beautiful writing, combining this exciting debut set within a hotel full of secrets. We're following orphan Elizabeth Summers, whose aunt and uncle ship her off to this winter house hotel while they go away, and she discovers that Winter House has many charms, most notably its massive library. It's not long before she locates a magical book of puzzles that will unlock a mystery involving Northbridge and his sinister family. But as she uncovers the hotel's secrets, Elizabeth starts to realise that she is somehow connected to Winter House, for better or worse. I am currently 40 pages into this one. I was reading it in December but didn't get a chance to finish it, so I did want to come back round to this one for Polathon, so I'm excited to get this on my TBR. Then we have another polar fantasy, and I'm going for something that's been on my TBR for ages and I should have got to by now, and it is Northchild by Edith Patu. I think this is called East in the States. So this is a beautiful epic story of destiny, magic and love. Northchild will take you on an unforgettable adventure. This could have counted for adventure as well, but it is a polar fantasy, and it's following Rose, who is an unusual child, a Northchild. So I'm intrigued by this one. Then we have Cold Cover. I don't know if this is really necessarily a cold cover, but it's got the word winter on the title. I mean, Winter House and this one could be swapped out. They're both adventure and cold. The Way Past Winter by Kira Millwood Hargreave. Again, been on my TBR for so long. I should have gotten to it by now, but I just haven't. This one says, Mila wakes to find her brother Oscar is gone. A dark clue suggests he's followed a stranger who visited them in the night. Then she learns that all the boys in the village have vanished except one, the boy mage called Rune. Together, Mila and Rune set out to find them in an extraordinary journey across snowy mountains to the furthest corner of the frozen north. Sounds very interesting, so I'm excited for that one. And then the final polar fantasy I have on here is Echo North by Joanna Ruth Mayer, one of Jade's favourites, and I'm really looking forward to this one. This is a retelling. Echo Alkive's world falls apart when her father mysteriously disappears. She finds himself half frozen in the winter forest, guarded by a strange talking wolf who proposes a bargain. Echo will live for a year in his house to save her father's life. In the wolf's enchanted house, something dark and strange lies behind every door. Echo discovers a magical library full of books turned mirrors, and a young man named Hal who is trapped inside of them. She must solve the mystery of the wolf's enchantment before her year is up. Otherwise, Echo, the wolf and Hal will be lost forever. I'm really excited for this one. This is an East of the Sun, West of the Moon retelling, I believe. So I'm really looking forward to this one. And that is my TBR for Polathon. So again, if you do want to get merch, check it out in the links down below for clothing merch or any other merch we've got in the shop, to be perfectly honest. There's mugs on there, drinks, containers, there is pet ball mats, there's friggin' all sorts, and also the bookmarks from Daisy and Bee as well, if you want to get your hands on a couple of those. So yeah, very quick change again. Okay, so before we go into the pumpkin pot, we do need to pick the Patreon pick from the Witch's Brew Jar. So let us have a deep dive into here. Sorry, wasn't showing you what I was doing then. And we're going to go for this one. Okay, we have, oh shit, we've got European Travels for the Monstrous Gentlewomen, which has been suggested by Stacey. I'm really excited to read this book. The only reason I go, oh shit, is because of the size of it. It's very large, but I'm really excited to read it. This is the second in a series, which works out kind of well if I read this in Feb, because maybe I can pick the third one up in March for Final Book Support Group. But this one follows the daughters of monsters from literature in the past. So we follow Mary Jackal, we follow Beatrice Rappaccini, Catherine Moreau, Justine Frankenstein, and Mary's sister Diana Hyde. We've also had some cameos from Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson as well. So I'm really excited. I love this series. I just love it. The audiobooks are fantastic. I think it's Mary Jackal who tells us the story, but the girls regularly interrupt her and they're like, that's not how it went down, this is how it went down, blah blah blah, and it's just great. It's such a good series, so I'm very excited to pick this one up. This is a 706 page book. Thank you, Stacey, for adding this to my TBR. I'm a little bit terrified now of how my TBR is going to go. I think I'm definitely going to stick with just 5 pulls from the jar. So, without further ado, let's get into it and do our first pull. We've got this one. Oh, okay. Try a chapter from 3 different books, then pick the one I'm most keen on from a bookish bard. I will probably turn that into a video. And do that separately. So we'll pick 5 on top of this. I will probably turn that into a video. I like that one. That's a good prompt. I like that. Okay. Should I pick the books now? No, I'll pick them nearer the time because I want to see what mood I'm in. Okay, so pick number 2. Let's go for this one. A Goodreads award winner or nominated from procrastinating pages. Okay. Let's have a quick butchers at what happened with Goodreads last year. Best books of 2022. Because I didn't read them all, but I read a few. Oh, there's a nomination there. Mystery and thriller, what was on there? The Maid, I have that. The Paris Apartment, I've got that. Flicker in the Dark. The Book of Cold Cases. Killers of a Certain Age. Wrong Place, Wrong Time. Daisy Darker. Things We Do in the Dark. Oh my god, I have so many of those. Fantasy. House of Sky and Breath. Babel. I'm planning on reading that in April, I think. Daughter of the Moon Goddess I've read. Secret Society of Regular Witches read. Legends and Lattes I've read. The World We Make I do want to get to, but I don't own it yet. Romance. Could read Terms and Conditions because the next one's coming out very, very soon. It would get me up to date. What's on horror? Hidden Pictures, The Hacienda. Children on the Hill, I've just read that. Gallows Hill. Sundial. Oh, the options, guys. The options. Oh, graphic novels and comics. Maybe I can get a graphic novel on to balance out that chonker. Oh, I have got Everything Is Okay by Debbie Tung. I could do that. And Squire, I have that too. What am I feeling? What am I in the mood for? None of those are on my potentials. Yay. Okay, so I have decided to go for Things We Do in the Dark by Jennifer Hillier. I am intrigued by this one. I can't remember what it's about. When Paris Peralta is arrested in her own bathroom covered in blood holding a straight razor, her celebrity husband dead in the bathtub behind her, she knows she'll be charged with murder. But as bad as this looks, that's not what worries her the most. With the unwanted media attention now surrounding her, it's only a matter of time before someone from her long hidden past recognises her and destroys the new life she's worked hard to build, along with any chance of a future. 25 years earlier, Ruby Reyes, known as the Ice Queen, was convicted of a similar murder in a trial that was a media sensation and riveted the nation. Reyes knows who Paris really is, and when Reyes is unexpectedly granted an early release from prison, she threatens to expose all of Paris' secrets. Left with no other choice, Paris must finally, once and for all, confront the dark past she thought she'd escaped, because the only thing worse than a murder charge is the dark personal history that Paris will do anything to keep hidden. Intriguing. Okay, so we have that one. Okay, so number 2. It's essentially number 3, but from the 5 we're going to pick, it's number 2. We have pick a book with the same number of pages as the last book I just read, Cece. I don't know why she keeps doing this to me. It's like she wants to torture me. Okay, what was the last book I read? Back on Goodreads. Nope. The Second Stranger. It was a smallish one. I remember that. 254 pages. So out of the, in fact, let's just check these first, because can I make these work? That's 239. That's close. 254. No, that's over 300. Not that one. Okay, we're going to go for the Way Past Winter for this one, because it's the closest I can get. Without looking at my shelves, because honestly I can't be bothered. I've got a whole bunch of books down here that I really want to read. So I'm just kind of going to stick with those. But thanks, Cece, for that ridiculous suggestion, as always. I love you. Okay, book number 3. or 4, depending on how you want to look at it. Let's go with this one. A book I'm still yet to finish, from Anna. I do have 2 that count for this, because Winter House I am partway through, but I'm also partway through The Lightning Struck Heart by TJ Klune. I'm not too far in. I'm not as far in as I am with Winter House, but I am 34 pages in. So I do need to still finish this book. This is a queer fantasy book, Tales from Verenia, book 1. We're following Sam, who turns a group of teenage douchebags into stone completely by accident. This catches the attention of higher power, and Sam's pulled from the only world he knows to become an apprentice to the King's wizard, Morgan of Shadows. When Sam is 14, he enters the Dark Woods and returns with Gary, the homeless gay unicorn, and a half-giant named Tiggy, earning the moniker Sam of the Wilds. At 15, Sam learns what love truly is when a new knight arrives at the castle, Sir Ryan Foxheart, the dreamiest dream to have ever been dreamed. Naturally, it all goes to hell. Through the years, when Ryan dates the reprehensible Prince Justin, Sam can't control his magic. A sexually aggressive dragon kidnaps the prince, and the king sends them on an epic quest to save Ryan's boyfriend, all while Sam falls more in love with someone he can never have, or so he thinks. It sounds fantastic. It sounds absolutely wild. So we're gonna use that one because why not? Okay, book number 4. We've got this one and the next one to go. Let's do this one. A manga or a graphic novel? Oh, I can do that. I didn't have manga or a graphic novel lined up, but I can pick something. We're going to go for one of my new manga from Yen Press, and we're going to go for Jose the Tiger and the Fish. This follows 2 college students. Sueno loves the ocean and the creatures it harbours, and his dream of studying abroad in faraway waters. All he needs is enough funds to go, so when a girl in a wheelchair suddenly barrels into his life, he readily agrees to work part-time as her caretaker. Getting close to the prickly Josie is easier said than done, but before he can give up, an impromptu trip to the beach shows them both that sometimes they must take the first plunge to see the wonders that await. This is a movie as well, so I'm intrigued by this one. It is a manga. Thank you again to Yen Press for sending me this one, so yay for that. Always down for putting graphic novels and manga on my TBR, especially when the books I've already got are so large. Okay, last one, because there's no way I'm doing 7. Just one, please. Read a book with an even number of pages, from Laura. Right. The books, you know what? I really need to get this on my TBR. Let's check how many pages this has. Okay, we're going to do The Dragon Republic, because I'm buddy reading this with, I can't fucking remember, Kath, Cece, Alicia, maybe Em. I can't remember who's buddy reading this with me. I'm fairly certain Caitlin and Jade have already finished the series, but I'm buddy reading it with them, and I'm very excited. This does have 600, I mean, if you're including the acknowledgements, it's 658 pages, but if you don't include the acknowledgements, 656. So either way you look at it, it's got an even number of pages. So we're going to be reading this. This series follows Rin, who is a orphan, and in the first book, which is The Poppy War, she ends up signing up to the military. We see her in military school for half of the book, and then we see her at war for the second half. Many trigger warnings for this series, just be careful with that going into it. But yeah, this is the one that I'm going to pick up for that prompt. So thanks, Laura, for that prompt. I do appreciate. And then a couple of books that I do just need to mention. We have I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy. I don't know if I'll read this in February. It may be pushed into March. This is my non-fic book club read for Patreon, and this is a quarterly book club, so we get 3 months to read the book, but I'm going to put it on here just in case. And we also have A Lady of Rooksgrave Manor by Catherine Moon, which is the literature book club pick. I don't know what happened to my brain, then it shut down. Literature book club pick, which is following a woman that ends up at this house, Rooksgrave Manor, working there, and it turns out to be a lot darker than she thinks. It's going to be even too dark for her potentially. So very excited to read this one for February, and I am hyped. So yeah, a couple of other things I do just want to mention. Another book as well that I just need to mention is the Literally Dead Book Club pick, which I do want to read, which is Finlay Donovan Jumps the Gun by El Cosimano, which is the third book in the Finlay Donovan series. I don't have it yet because it's not come out yet. But I'm going to be reading that one because I have just binge read the first 2 in January and I absolutely loved them. So I am going to be following along with Literally Dead Book Club for that one. And I also have my Patreon buddy read as well, which is A Diary of Blood by S.T. Gibson, which I do need to read in February. So I will be reading this one as well. This is like a Frankenstein, letters to Frankenstein from his bride's story. And I'm very intrigued about it. So let me collect my books together. I'm not going to put this one on for the time being, but let me collect my books together and show you exactly what I've got going on here. This TBR is looking absolutely ridiculous. I don't know who I think I am. February's the shortest month of the year. What's the matter with me? I obviously have my Polathon TBR, so this chunk will be done in a week and then the rest of it will be done throughout the month. I'm not sure who the fuck I think I am, honestly. I am never going to get through all of this, but it's going to be fun to try. We also have the prompt of try a chapter from 3 different books and then pick a book from there. So I need to do that as well, which I will turn into a video, I think. So yeah, that is everything for my TBR. I think I've mentioned everything I need to mention. I don't know if there's anything else. I do apologise if I've missed anything. Again, links to everything in the description box down below. Jade's announcement video, the Polathon merch from Redbubble, the Polathon merch from Daisy and B. I think that is everything you need to know. All of my links will be in the description box down below. My Instagram, Twitter, my Patreon, my Goodreads, etc. All linked down below if you want to go and check any of those out. Please feel free to do so. And I hope you have enjoyed this video and I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now.